Well, you are special. Lauren Spencer Smith is here. Welcome to Kiss FM Chicago. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. We are such huge fans. I'm so excited to talk to you. Haven't met you yet, but I know that you have a lot going on in the world.
Yeah.
Specifically here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, big show.
I know, I'm so excited. First show ever in Chicago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, first time. I stayed in Chicago once because I missed a layover, but that doesn't count.
Does not count.
First time really in Chicago.
Lauren, this is a big deal.
I know, we just went to the Bean.
Have
Very excited.
I'm not even judging because anytime like friends or family come visit from outside of the city, I'm like, we're going to the Bean.
Yeah.
We're gonna get deep dish pizza.
I haven't had that yet.
Oh yeah. Wait till after the show because then you're just gonna want to take a nap because it's like filling.
Someone sent me a photo of it. It just looked so scary and like big.
Aggressive.
I didn't know that's what it was. Like my whole life, I've thought deep dish pizza just meant like really thick crust. Completely wrong.
Oh no.
So now I'm just shook.
Yeah, you will be when you eat it too, because it's an event. It is. Yeah. So, but yeah, it shows at I believe Lincoln Hall tomorrow night. Yep. Sold out show in Chicago, first time, big time. Lauren Spencer Smith. How's the tour going?
Really good. Yeah, the last tour was like very hectic, very crazy, unorganized. First tour things, and this tour is like very organized. We have a lot of people on the team helping out, so it's gone very smoothly.
Yeah, but don't you think like part of the reason why it's going to go smoothly is because of the learning curve, right? The rough things.
Like now it's like they handed me the schedule and I was like, absolutely not. There needs to be an off day. There needs to be this. There needs to be that. Like based on all the things that went wrong, we know what needs to go right.
Yeah, you can't be in City 1 and City 2 within like 6 hours of each other.
That's what the last tour was. This tour, no.
We're doing good. Really excited. So what can fans expect that are listening to us right now or watching the video about your show? What are they gonna get in their feels? Are they gonna get a little bit of everything? What's the mood?
Probably gonna get sad. There is some up tempo, so it's not like you're gonna cry the whole time. So whatever you're feeling, you can come to a show. I talk a lot when I'm not supposed to. I even get told in rehearsals like don't talk here, and then it just ends up like me trying to like be Kevin Hart on stage. But yeah, lots of emotions.
Yeah.
Going through the motions of my shows for sure.
What do you talk about? Just whatever's on your mind?
Just whatever. If there's a sign, I just get so like distracted, and then I forget I'm like supposed to be singing, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's someone's birthday, let's sing happy birthday. Then I'm like, oh my god, you're wearing the merch, and then people start shouting out random different things, and I'm having a whole different conversation than what I'm supposed to be.
Don't let people tell you to stop doing that, because that's like a unique experience that not a lot of concert goers. Usually you just go to a show and you see something and you go home, but this is like it's interactive.
Yeah,
it sounds like.
It gets like after every show, everyone's like, oh, you talked a lot. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Everyone's here to watch me sing, not talk.
Well, you have a voice. Flowers, fingers crossed, two of the big anthems of the year, singer-songwriter style. Where did this come from? Like, how did you decide, I'm going to do this? And was there a singer-songwriter that you idolized growing up that kind of made you and pushed you in this direction?
Yeah. JP Sax. Like, just everything he does, his album, any song he's ever written. Like, I literally sit there. Anytime I write a song, I always play someone else's song as like, hey, this is the concept I want to do, but here's the vibe. Like, if JP did a piano song, I'm like, I'm really feeling this piano vibe. Or if he did up-tempo, I'm like, oh, he did an up-tempo. Like, I'm really feeling that energy. And I always play a JP Sax song.
He is so good.
And
he's just a good human.
I know. And he just sounds so smart when he talks. Like, I just feel like I sound like a basic 18-year-old, like, TikToker. Whereas he sounds so, like, intelligent. Like, he's definitely read a lot of books and got, like, straight A's in school. Which is funny because
are you 18?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't present yourself as such because when I'm just using myself as an example. When I was 18, I was not articulating these anthems and these songs and songwriting. Like, were you always kind of like a little more mature for kids your age?
Yeah, like I've always just like hung out. I mean, I've had a lot of trauma, so like I just like developed at a very young age. Like started working at a really young age. Like my mom is very open about like, oh, we don't have money and like you're not being able to afford to eat and we can't make money because mom only makes X amount, and this is like was very open at like a young age, so I got to know the real world. But I definitely just like hung out with older people. But I've been very good at like talking about my emotions and like wanting to go to therapy, which is like really comes out in the songwriting. Like I've always wanted to be super open about like exactly what happened, and like I over talk about my emotions a lot, but it works in songwriting sessions perfectly.
You do all the right things. You get all the things out with your shows and what you say, and of course your songwriting. I always wonder about like songwriters, especially in 2022. Do you grab your phone and go to notes? Is that how we write songs now?
Everything is in my notes. Wow. Yeah. Like the second I think of something, a lot of my songwriting is like whoever I'm writing with, I just start going on being like, oh, and then he made me feel like I wasn't enough, and like this happened, and like it's almost just like when you like love someone, like they have their fingers crossed and they're like, Lauren, like you're just saying lyrics, like that's the lyric, like we need that to be in it, like just comes from random things that I spit out of my mouth unintentionally.
It's so intriguing to me. I don't know why. I just think like there's such a different chemical in people's brains that have this power to be able to translate like how you're feeling into words, right? So it's very cool to do that. You were on American Idol. Don't want that to define you, but we have to talk about it because it's a big deal. Because just keeping it real and transparent, not a lot of these artists succeed from these reality singing shows. You can count them on one hand. You are one of them.
Thank you.
Of course, no, and it has less to do with the show, more about you. But I wonder, like Kelly Clarkson, Carrie Underwood, all these big artists. But then it kind of like just like why do you think it's so difficult?
Yeah, I think like it comes down to the person. Like I think a lot of people go on the show thinking like, this is my one and only chance, and like also, the show does a lot of that. Like, oh, like, how do you feel like this is your one and only shot? And then like you say that, and the more you say that to yourself, you're like, oh, is this my only shot? And like a lot of people gain a lot of false hope by thinking if they don't make it on the show, that means they're never gonna make it. Where I was like, in the interviews, they're like, you know, how do you feel like this is your last shot? And I'm like, last shot? What are you like talking about? And they like hated me for interviews because I was terrible.
Yeah.
I was just like, this isn't my last shot. What are you talking about? They're like, well, what are you gonna do if you like the show ends? I'm like, go audition again. Like, keep going. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just gonna keep working hard. But I think it just comes down to the person. And like, I definitely used it as like a stepping stone and like wanted to keep moving forward after the show.
You know what you are. You know what you think is the world is your oyster, and it really is, right?
Yeah.
That's a song. Okay, we're gonna do 5 favorites with Lauren Spencer Smith. 5 favorites, real quick. Pizza topping always comes back to pizza.
Pepperoni.
Easy answer. Group. What's your favorite group text name that you have with some friends?
Powerpuff Girls, which coincidentally is Gail and M. Byhold.
Love them.
Yeah.
You guys are the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Does anybody know that? We do now.
I think
so good.
I might have said it like last week to someone, but I don't think the world knows that.
They do now. Favorite thing to do on a flight when you're on an airplane?
Ooh, sleep.
Can you sleep on a plane?
Absolutely, the whole way.
What is your trick? Teach me, Lauren.
I think I'm just constantly tired. I'm just like overworked all the time that like anytime there's a dull moment, I'm napping.
Zonk out. What's your favorite rom-com of all time?
Ooh.
Insert Ryan Reynolds movie here.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I actually don't watch a lot of rom-coms. I feel like I just watch extremely sad movies.
Okay, so what's your favorite extremely sad movie?
The Fault in Our Stars.
She can't even say it.
So
like,
tragic.
She can't even say it with like almost crying.
I've seen it 8 times, and every time I still bawl my eyes out.
And then last one, 5 favorites, Lauren Spencer Smith. Favorite temperature outside when you're walking outside?
Oh, probably like 65.
Very pleasant.
Yeah.
Well, you're from Canada originally, right?
I've been learning my American temperatures.
No, 65 is good here too.
Yeah.
Well, Chicago's close to Canada.
Well, I was saying the American 65.
Got it. The American 65 is different.
I actually almost 2 years ago, I was like, I want to go to the States and be spending a lot of time there. I changed everything in my life to like Fahrenheit, so I would learn. And now I don't know. Celsius. I don't know my Celsius.
Yeah. I forget that. We just play by different. We just make up rules here in America. We're just like, let's just measure things this way. And just, everybody will learn it. Whatever. Speaking of Narcissists, the single, right? The new song. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Where did it come from, personally?
Yeah.
Like, who's it about? What's his name? Or her name?
Everybody asks this. It kind of was about multiple people in my life, and I thought it was like. I just thought it was one of those things that only I went through, and that like nobody else in the world ever understood. And then my mom kind of started to be like, oh, no, honey. Like, there's lots of narcissists in the world. Like, are you kidding me? And as I began to talk about it more with people, like, everyone had narcissists in their life. I was like, I have to write about this. My mom was constantly sending me videos from, like, this doctor. Her name's Dr. Romani. She's, like, the #1 doctor in the world for narcissism. She makes, like, YouTube videos. She's, like, famous on the internet for, like, talking about narcissists. Yeah. And I just, like, began to understand exactly what narcissism meant and, like, their characteristics. And, like, became very intelligent on the situation just to really understand what happened to me and like not make everything feel like it was my fault. And then I went into the studio with my writer who would like kept trying to convince me to write this concept forever, but I was like, no one's gonna relate. And then when I found out people would, I was like, we have to write this for sure.
The world needs to hear it. And because that's what music's all about. It's all about emotions and relatability. Very cool. Gotta ask you this one last question. Well, I got two. First, I'm creating an artist-influenced vinyl collection. So every artist I interview, you have to pick and add a vinyl to add to my collection.
Oh, God.
And it could be obscure. I mean, it's going to be hard to find if it's obscure, but I'll look for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlie Puth gave me, what did he give me? Dr. Dre's The Chronic. And I was like, how did I not think of that?
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good one. And you wouldn't think...
I feel like I'm going to say something like super basic that's like a new artist.
Go. I want it. I need it.
One Direction.
I stand 1D.
Yeah.
Story of my life is amazing.
Oh, everything
so
is amazing. I just love them.
Okay, so any particular?
Any One Direction.
Any One Direction?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go mid One Direction.
Yeah.
Like right before they're like, yeah, we probably should separate, but we're gonna stick together because of the money. Right around that era.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last question for me, Lauren Spencer Smith. Thank you so much. Appreciate you spending some time. What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh God.
Yeah, deep AF right now.
I feel like I just want my legacy to be about like helping people. Like I only write songs about things because I didn't have the song when I was sad, and so I never want anyone else to feel the same way that I felt, and so I write the song that they can have if they feel the same way as me. So I really just want always like the middle of everything that I'm constantly doing to be about like helping people and like I really want to create safe adoption centers in like third world countries. Like I want to have like huge organizations that just go back to like helping the world and like give away all my money.
I feel like everybody in this room right now is inspired by you. So thank you so much. Oh, I forgot one because you're from Canada. I like this too. Who is on your Mount? I'll give you mine. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of Canadian musicians? Think about it. I'll give you mine. You ready? Mount Rushmore. You're familiar with this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go Bryan Adams.
Okay.
Number one.
Love him. He's really sweet.
Celine Dion.
Okay.
What do you mean he's sweet? You met him?
I haven't met him, but we're connected.
Yeah, because you guys are both up for Junos and stuff.
Yeah, that's how we actually got connected.
I believe it.
I think he texted me being like, oh, congrats. And then I was like, oh, shit, Bryan
Bryan
Adams.
Adams.
Like, hey, buddy, what's up? And he owns a studio that I used to record at. And so, yeah.
You should add him to your Powerpuff Girl group text. I'm going to go Bryan Adams. I'm going to go Celine, obviously. Yeah. I'm going to go Alanis Morissette and Biebs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my Mount. Who's your Mount Rushmore?
Sorry, how many are there? Four?
Four. Okay. Yep, there's 4 presidents on the Mount Rushmore.
Shawn Mendes, Drake, J.P. Sachs. No, I can't say myself.
You can't just say yourself, yeah. That'd be...
I kind of want to say Justin Bieber, but I feel like you said it.
I don't care.
Okay,
there's no rules here.
Justin Bieber.
Love it. Lauren Spencer Smith! Hey, thanks for coming.
No, thanks
that was
for
fun.
having me.
You have to come back again.